What's up, guys? Welcome into a brand new show. Very
Same
first
animation.
one. Same animation.
They really did a great job of being like, hey, I need a new animation, but change Fantasy Live to say Q&A.
No, this is totally different.
Totally
this
different.
is NFL Fantasy Q&A. I'm Kimmy Chex. He is Adam Rank, my bestie for the resty.
My bestie.
And this is going to be a fun new show. They basically just let us talk to each other.
Yes.
And the whole premise of it is that we get so many questions every single week around fantasy football, lineup questions, start sits, waiver wire, all of the things. And now we get to answer them live on the show. I
love it.
Do you love it? Are you ready for kickoff? Kickoff happens, what, 2 days from now, Thursday.
I know. I can see the stadium right here.
All right, predict a winner.
Ticketmaster VIP entrance.
Predict a winner. Bills or Rams?
Sorry. I'm going to go with the Rams.
The Rams?
I think. I don't remember who I picked. I go back and forth. I can see, like, the Bills, they're hungry. The last time we saw them was that disastrous loss for them against the Chiefs. Good for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The Rams, though, and I don't know if this is a product of us being in Los Angeles, they seem to celebrate a lot.
Yeah.
Like, this carried on for a long time.
It did.
Sean McVay's wedding had the Lombardi trophy. It always seemed like, do you guys practice? Like, what is going on? Like,
no, they just live in the fact that they won the Super Bowl. I'm still living in the fact that I won one fantasy championship this last season.
That's cool.
But I'm trying to go, for a 2-peat. Maybe a 3-peat. I just want to crush it. But
start the dynasty.
There are people who also want to win some fantasy championships this season. That's why they tweet us these questions. We want to get to all of your questions throughout the season. So make sure you tweet us at NFL Fantasy if you have any. Should we get this started?
Love it. Yeah,
our very first Q&A. So we took to Twitter and we said, guys, we want to know who's trending. What fantasy player are we seeing talked about the most on social media? And it was a wide receiver, a guy for the New Orleans Saints by the name of Michael Thomas. A lot of people had questions about Michael Thomas this season and what this is going to look like in terms of fantasy football. The fact that he's not played fully healthy for a few seasons has people a little bit, hesitant. Also some questions around a very healthy question mark with Jameis Winston and what this offense is going to look like. However, we know that Michael Thomas, when healthy, is incredible. Look back at that 2019 season, and he was a wide receiver one. He just blew up everybody in fantasy football. So what do you think people need to do with Michael Thomas this year? Are you starting him out strong? Because he was such a discount and fantasy drafts in comparison to where he was a few years ago.
Well, I know. Like, he was a definite first rounder a couple of years ago. I kept sitting there in my drafts wondering, do I take him? Do I not take him? I don't have any shares of Michael Thomas.
Really?
Which is crazy to me. Because I'm a big fan of his work.
Yeah.
And so I ended up with a ton of Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Who I feel, again, when you talk about the baked-in discounts, Olave was going off the board super light. There was a league that I did that I didn't even notice till my friend texted me. He's like, hey, should I pick up Chris Olave? And I looked, and I went and I picked him up.
You're that guy. You would be that guy.
But I said, no, you keep whoever you have. Here's my thing, though. With Michael Thomas, he has been really good against the Falcons during the course. He's averaged like 17 points per game against them. I think he's had like over 19 points in 7 of his 10 games against them. We just don't have a huge sample size of him with Jameis because all that stuff comes with other quarterbacks. Right. He did well with Taysom. He's done okay with Breeze, obviously. So I'm like, what is Jameis's deal going to be here? Like, I love the matchup because it's the Falcons.
Right.
So I want to start him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you're going to start him week 1, see what it looks like.
Because and I know, like, people get, like, you'll get that, like, this is the one thing, too. Like, this is almost why I don't like answering questions. Because somebody will ask you, like, do I start Michael Thomas over Josh Palmer? And I'm like, yes, I would do that. Okay, but why? I'm like, well, because the Falcons have got a terrible defense. Okay, but what if it's a blowout? I'm like, do you think that we're best friends? Like, how many, like, do you think, like, the kids on Twitter who found my phone number who are now, like, texting me all the time, like, are we buddies? Like, this, I mean, I'm polite. I try to hang out and try to help out. But,
So basically ask rank questions, but not
ask
too many questions.
I'm so involved in Shohei Ohtani for MVP. I'm probably not going to get to you till October.
But overall, we're starting Michael Thomas
I would
week
say
1
so.
against the Falcons.
It's a good enough matchup.
We got some more fan questions, some people who have some questions around the quarterback position here for week 1. This is a really good one. 2 strong quarterbacks. Start Dak Prescott or Trey Lance. Dak is playing the Buccaneers. Trey Lance is playing your Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Which QB do you feel GTSCO should start?
Well, I'm gonna go with the guy that I'm sure will probably finish the game, and that's Dak Prescott. Did well last year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. Trey Lance, I don't know. I don't know if he finishes this game.
Really?
I think he might get pulled.
Really?
Yeah.
The Bears' defense is going to be that great.
The Bears' defense, well, you got to remember, it's Matt Eberflus's defense. And last year did a really nice job of shutting down the 49ers offense. It was Jimmy Garoppolo, but Eberflus knows how to attack defenses. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people aren't giving enough credit to when they were talking about the Bears, and people like Dan Hansis saying that the Bears are the worst team in the NFL. You're like, bro, like, do you even watch ball? Like, I don't even know what to say there. I honestly believe that there's going to be a lot of disappointed fantasy enthusiasts out there who'll be starting Trey Lance this week.
Okay, but Dak Prescott, I think the only reason why this is even kind of a question is because people are concerned about the pass catching situation for Dallas.
That makes sense. Like, I understand that, but we talked about this. We're all in on CeeDee Lamb, I guess. I mean, I am. I drafted him in my league of record. Already regret making that pick. Dalton Schultz, I said on Fantasy Live recently a couple of times that I think Dalton Schultz can end up outscoring Kelsey, which isn't super outlandish because he was the tight end 3. Although there was a huge gap between 2 and 3.
Slightly.
So it's a little disingenuous to be like, he's the tight end 3. But listening to Yankee fans being disingenuous has allowed me to be the same way. And since Yankee fans and Cowboys fans are the same, I'm cool with that. I honestly believe, thank you. And, Tony Pollard and even Ezekiel Elliott can catch the football. So I'm confident enough in Zach to go with him. I'm literally not confident in Trey Lance. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much into preseason or anything like that. But I don't think he's the best quarterback on that team.
Ooh.
I think they really painted themselves into a situation. Remember, think of all the young quarterbacks in the NFL right now that when they took over, they got rid of the veteran. When Patrick Mahomes took over, Alex Smith shipped out.
Yep.
When Dak took over, Tony Romo shipped out. Like, they don't leave the veterans hanging around. The 49ers did not do that with Jimmy Garoppolo. Then maybe it's because of the injury or whatever it was, but they did not get rid of him. And I think they're starting to panic there in Santa Clara.
You guys, a week 1 hot take.
Dude, the
Trey
Bears
Lance
are gonna beat him too, by the
could
way.
potentially not finish the game. But for this question, we have confidence in starting Dak Prescott. We got another quarterback question here. You'll love this one. Which quarterback do I start? Your guy Aaron Rodgers at the Vikings or Derek Carr going up against AFC West rival Los Angeles Chargers?
For the fun factor?
Yep.
I'm going to go Derek Carr.
You are?
I'd have Derek. I mean, in a vacuum. Like, think about this. The Packers are probably going to run the ball a lot. I mean.
Why? Because they got rid of Devontae Adams?
They got rid of all these guys. And I can still see Aaron Rodgers taking the cheap, shovel pass touchdowns to get points. Mm-hmm. But I can't count on that. That's why I'm going to go with Derek Carr. I really do believe that Derek Carr gets underestimated. Like, he was close to 5,000 passing yards last year.
Yep.
And you're like, hey, you added Devontae Adams. Like, I might come out and say that maybe Aaron Rodgers is better than Derek Carr, but you guys act like Derek Carr is some scrub, which is just hilarious to me. Even Raider fans get upset with Derek Carr. The guy can sling the rock. I'm good with it.
All right, so we're rocking Derek Carr.
Yeah,
I said on Fantasy Live earlier this preseason, I was like, Derek Carr is like my sleeper pick for QB1 in fantasy. Like, if you had to predict, kind of a low flying guy, it's going to be Derek Carr. So
and
I like
think
that.
People are a little too excited about the Chargers.
Yeah?
They always do.
As a Chiefs fan, I love that. I don't love any hype on Las Vegas, but any besmirchment of the Chargers, I'm down for. All right, we got a fun video sent in from a fan who wants to ask his question himself. So let's take a look and see, Rank.
Shout out to my boy Adam Rank. Shout out to the Immortals Fantasy Football League. But I got a serious question about week 1. So my draft went pretty good. I got 2 solid starting quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Joe Burrow. I don't know who to start. I'm thinking Russell Wilson because revenge game, prime time. And then in my flex, I got a choice between Damien Pierce, I picked him up, or Rashad Bateman. And let me know who I should start. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to become the 2-time, 3-time, every-time champ in my league. You know what I mean? Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Cheers.
Thanks,
Mr.
Saya.
Moto.
Saya Moto.
Oh my God.
That's an amazing
Saya
name.
is an amazing person.
He is.
I do know him personally.
Do you really?
Yeah. I love that he was wearing the belt. I did a shout out for the Immortals as well.
Wow.
At Fantasy League. They're a fun group of people, and obviously he's the defending champion. I don't like the fact that he drafted 2 quarterbacks against my recommendation. This is the one thing too. If you still have drafts left to go, you have to understand the people that you're drafting with. This happens to me in my league of record.
Yep.
I forget that I'm like, oh yeah, it's not a super flex league. It's a 10-team league that everybody picks 2 to 3 quarterbacks.
Insane.
And you forget because you get locked into that mode. And, I might have been, not thinking because I was in the 10 spot. So you get caught up into that. And then you have situations like Mr. Moto's in. We have Russell Wilson or Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Like whichever, he's leaning Russell Wilson. So I'll just Russell Wilson.
Okay.
That's who you want to pick. Then pick him. So but this is why it's so frustrating. And when you do this, when you're in one of these situations where you have 2 quarterbacks like this, I will tell you the best thing to do, just lean on one quarterback and be like, this is my guy. This is who I'm starting week in and week out. A couple of years ago, during Justin Herbert's breakout season, I had Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback. And the week, I don't know what drove me to do this. Oh, we had heard that Justin Herbert was going to be starting against the Chiefs.
Uh-huh.
So I had like an empty spot. So I'm like, I'm going to pick up Justin Herbert just in case he balls out.
Yep.
And he did. So for the course of the season, I carried those 2 guys. But I had made a decision that I was only starting one of them. Like I wasn't going to play matchups or whatever. I was committed to one guy. And then eventually I was able to draft or trade Justin Herbert. Or no, I think I traded I traded Rodgers. But the thing is like you just got to pick one quarterback and be like, this is going to be your guy and ride or die. And it sucks because you got Russell and you have Joe Burrow.
Right.
Like that's ridiculous. Those are 2 top 5 guys. But my suggestion would be like, pick the guy that you want. Although it's Russell against Seattle. They're going to kill that team.
He's just going to cook.
Destroy
Finally.
them.
He's just going to cook.
We're still not sure what's going on with the Bengals.
True.
I'm confident in the Bengals.
Same.
But I think it's easy to be like, we don't really know.
Right.
They got the
I
Steelers.
was going to say, divisional matchup, week 1.
You never
Russell Wilson.
I don't like week 1 divisional matchups.
Russell Wilson's the obvious answer. All right, the second part of Saya's question was a flex question. Damien Pierce versus the Colts or Rashad Bateman at the Jets.
We're going to go Damien Pierce.
We are.
This is going to end up ruining everybody. I predicted this on the NFL Fantasy Live that everybody's gotten so hyper on Damien Pierce. When we did the Scott Fish Bowl, which for any of you who are not familiar with the Scott Fish Bowl League, it's an industry-wide league with like millions of players. And we do the draft. It kicked off on July 11th. I got Damien Pierce in like the 14th round, which is like, that's cool.
Right.
Somebody, like if you know what you're doing, you'll be able to do it. But now everybody just shows up like, oh, look at me. I know it's Damien. You don't know. You didn't watch a Florida game last year. Don't tell me this. You didn't watch. It's so frustrating. It is like being like, I used to go to Blink-182 shows when I was a kid. And Scott Rayner was the drummer. And then like, of course, you're front row, you're hanging out, you're in the pit. And then now, fast forward, I got to pay $300 for orchestra seats. It's not fair. I should be grandfathered in.
So we've done it to ourselves with Damien Pierce, but we like him starting week 1.
Absolutely.
He's an RB1 for the
100%.
Houston Texans. Rex Burkhead, he's probably going to ruin all of our
Rex
lives.
Burkhead's going to end up scoring 2 touchdowns. We're going to do a big thing on Mondays. That helps no one, and it'll be a deal.
All right, but for week 1, Sai, you're going to rock with Russell Wilson at your quarterback spot and Damien Pierce in your flex rank. Coming up, we're going to tackle all of the running back questions we've seen on Twitter. Plus, we're going to talk about some late round draft steals, some guys we predict are going to ball out this season.
Love it.